What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Sage Steele. Sage Steele is speaking out, and she's speaking about the jab mandates, the poke, the jab, and how ESPN is forcing people to get the jab. Like a lot of these other corporations, these corporate companies, a lot of these businesses. That's why I tell y'all, man, the best thing you can do is work for yourself. So you never have to deal with this, because it's bad enough we got to walk around in cloth masks in certain businesses. Some places you can't leave out the house without the cloth. That's what I call mask, the cloth. And people will still get the jab and they will still wear these cloths on their face. And now they are forcing people to get this stuff, even though people can still get the CV, even though they got the jab. Now, I'm not one of these people who is like anti-vax. I do believe if you are susceptible to getting severely, you already have health issues that can be increased severely due to CV, then maybe you should get it. So I'm not one of these anti-nothing. I'm pro-freedom. I'm pro-people being able to have a choice in America instead of allowing your freedoms to be snatched from you just for the sake of making a few people feel good about themselves. So let's go to this article from New York Post from Sage Steele. One thing I will say about Sage Steele, one of the things I've always respected about Sage Steele is Sage Steele has always stood her ground. She has never bent to the social media woke mob. She has did things her own way, right? But you may famously know Sage Steele from the on-air flirting she did with Jalen Rose, even though she was married at the time. That's why I tell y'all, man. That's why I've always had a sort of a soft spot for Sage Steele, man. Some of y'all may not like her. I think the fact that she was basically shooting her shot with Jalen Rose will always live in infamy with me. Now, according to the NY Post, says ESPN on-air personality Sage Steele went public with her concerns that she has with Walt Disney's company's jab mandate, which includes employees of the sports network. During an appearance on the Uncut with Jay Cutler podcast. So Jay Cutler has a podcast. I definitely checked it out. Jay Cutler is another one that gives zero fucks when it comes to things. I mean, Jay Cutler he's Jay Cutler. He's not going to change for anybody. Steele explained that she had gotten the jab against the CV-19 that day, but didn't want to do it. That's crazy, man. In America, they're forcing you to put things into your bloodstream that you don't want to do, but they're dangling your livelihood in front of your face. I work for a company that mandates it, and I had until September 30th to get it done or I'm out, Steele told Cutler, a former 12-year NFL quarterback who spent much of his playing career with the Bears. I respect everyone's decision, I really do, but to mandate it is sick and it's scary to me in many ways, Steele said. I'm not surprised it got to this point, especially with Disney. I mean, a global company like that. On Tuesday, Steele took to Twitter to retweet a statement about the jabs by Orlando Magic big man Jonathan Isaac, who wrote, "Misrepresentation only allows for others to attack straw men and not reason with the true ideas and heart of the heart of their fellow man. It helps no one. True journalism is dying. I believe it is your God-given right to decide if taking the jab is right for you, period." Isaac, who confirmed that he had CV-19, has been vocal about his hesitation to receive the jab, which has shown to be effective at preventing the severe disease caused by the virus. I have to applaud Jonathan Isaac. And even, Kyrie Irving, some of these guys that are speaking out. I believe Bradley Beal has spoken out about, like, why are you forcing people when you can still get it anyway? You can still get it anyway. I believe in herd immunity. Herd immunity probably has saved more lives than any jab will possibly do. And again, I'm not anti-jab. I think that if you're somebody who's constantly having health issues, then maybe you should get it. But you shouldn't force nobody to do nothing. There are plenty of diseases that there's no cure for that people still lose their life to. Why don't we focus there instead of focusing on something where the survival rate is still very, 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 very high, people? The media is going to tell you differently because the media wants to control the narrative. And I've told y'all over and over again, stop allowing the media to think for you, because they're giving you misinformation, half-truths every single day. He made headlines this week after a Rolling Stone article published September 25th labeled him as proudly unjabbed. During the Orlando Media Day Monday, Isaac said the article badly misrepresented. Of course, this is what they do. This is what the media does. The media will skew your words and take it out of context just so they can attack you. That's all it's for. They want to attack you. They want you to submit, or they will try to destroy you. Steele's comments also came a few weeks after a colleague, Allison Williams, a veteran college football sideline reporter for ESPN, stepped away from the network due to its mandate. In a Twitter statement shared earlier this month, Williams explained she stepped down from her role because she and her husband are trying to conceive a second child. Williams says she came to the decision by family planning with our doctor as well as a fertility specialist. There's no evidence that the CV jab causes fertility problems. Yeah, because they've rushed this thing out. How would you know? How would you know? They've rushed this thing out there, and nobody has been able to do real research on what it does to the bodies of people, especially women that want to conceive. They're just putting it out there because there hasn't been any stories of any fertility problems. But I will say this about Sage Steele. Some of you may not like her. Some of you may be, I don't care. There's a reason why she has not been able to do anything prominent on the network. They sort of shoveled her off to the side, right? Because she's somebody that's not going to be pro-black, even though she's biracial. She's not going to push some woke narrative. She's not going to try to get points with weirdos on Twitter. She's going to think for herself. And I respect people who think for themselves and are not sheep. You should not force people to take stuff into their bodies that could have an adverse effect on them. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's wait a couple years and let's see how this thing works before you start mandating things, because people are still getting the CV. And how do we know that the symptoms ain't as bad? How do we know that? We don't know that. We're just taking people's word for it who have done nothing but put out misinformation for years. They race bait. Let me tell you people something. I have more respect for Sage Steele than any of those other heifers on ESPN. That's a fact. Any of them that's try to play the woke card, because they just follow a script. They do what they're told. They will take that jab all day long. They don't care what it does to their bodies. One, because they ain't trying to conceive no kids, because they don't want no kids. And they care more about their status and their career and trying to toe up a line instead of speaking for themselves. So how can I not look at Sage Steele and have some semblance of admiration for her sticking to her speaking out, because she ended up getting the jab, but she regrets it. She regrets it. Now, again, I'm not anti-jab. If you're somebody that has had continual health problems, then maybe you should consider getting it, especially because there have been people who've lost their life due to this. So I'm not minimizing the CV at all. There's people I know have lost their life to it. It's a real disease. I'm not saying it isn't. But there's ways of combating it. Forcing people to take this jab is not the answer. So let me know in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts.